We are live. So hopefully this time we don't have as many issues. We don't have the sound issues that we've had. Seems like every time we go live, we have something. Either my kid, my 4-year-old coming in and out of the room, or my dog barking, or my neighbor's barking, or my neighbor's dog barking. Not a big deal. Nothing we can't work through. Last time though, we got up to about like 22 minutes, and then right at like 22, I think 22:06, the sound just cut completely off. Oh, don't tell me we're having sound problems again. If you guys can hear me, let me know in the chat. I mean, how typical would this be to have more issues with the microphone? New commitment. Hey, so let me know if you guys can hear me. Let's just make that clear. I don't know why we're having issues. Oh, okay. Well, you can hear me. All right. Loud and clear. Okay. That last time gave me a scare. Yeah, so if you guys were here last time, like I said, we went like 22 minutes and then it just cut. And I sort of looked into the issue. It was definitely a YouTube problem. What's up, Tyler, Patrick? I think that's pronounced Azazian, but I'm just going to call you Absurd. Mr. Azazian on Absurdity. Crazy Hog, Dontrell, Wyatt. What's going on, guys? Be sharing, like the video, share the content, let everyone know, hey, we're Ties Live on the PTN over on YouTube. Hope you guys are having a good week. It's Friday. I'm wearing my pink flamingo shirt. It's my favorite shirt that my wife bought me. Probably from Walmart. But I like it. I dig it. So we're going to wait just a little bit, let people kind of get in here. This is very limited notice, as you guys know. Todd Parker, how you doing, sir? Very limited notice. I go live randomly. I never expect. I'm surprised we even get 5 people in here. So you need a pineapple shirt. I do need a pineapple shirt, Tyler. You're correct. Yeah, we have some recruiting information. We're going to get into that. And again, I usually wait till about we'll wait till maybe the 4-minute mark or so. If you guys have any questions, though, feel free to go ahead and ask away, and I'll get to them. We can start off by answering some questions if you guys want, or you know what, we can jump into it at the 3-minute mark and just go with it. So, good morning, Ty. Almost hurricane day. What? Oh, the tropical storm that's supposedly moving in from. What do you think of the 3 players to media day expected? It was. Let's see. It was. Who was it again? You'll have to remind me because it's. I know Devois Whaley's going, and then who were the other 2? Was it Sosa Agim? And then let's see, Whaley and Harris in a game. Okay, all right, that's right. I that's the names that popped into my head, but I thought, wait a minute, was there something else? How many linebackers are the Razorbacks targeting? Ooh, that's a good one because I've talked a lot about that. So also before we get started, so you guys know the typical intro: like, comment, share the content, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out all the notifications or the links down below in the notification box or the description box rather. Yeah, I just got out of the shower too. Like my morning is getting underway. Immediately following this, I'm going to have lunch with a friend of mine or a cousin of mine from Jonesboro, and he's in town for a funeral. Sadly, I lost an uncle. It's been a rough week. It's been a real rough week, but today is hectic. I've got my 7-year-old's Camp War Eagle graduation today, so I figured I'm not going to have time to get a video out. So why not just go live? Because it's easier to do a 30 or 45-minute video than it is to sit down and try and record. You guys know it takes for these 6-minute videos I upload, they typically take me about 2 hours to make. Not even kidding. I don't want to say perfectionist, but I nitpick at little things. Let's see. Is this about the Vandy kicker that committed? Well, so they did get it. Yeah, Gregory, thanks for the question. They did get a commitment or a transfer. He was a freshman all SEC punter, if I read that right. This is all, like, I just read this morning, and was all SEC, then transferred to Colorado, and now he's transferring to Arkansas. So I was going to touch on that for just a second, but there you have it. So all right, we're at the 5-minute mark. Blake, sorry for your loss, brother. I appreciate it, Blake. Yeah, that was a tough one. He is my Uncle Bill, rest in peace. But his wife, my Aunt Claudia, who was my mom's oldest sister, passed away about 2 months ago. And he was in pretty normal. He was doing okay until after obviously his wife died. So it's just sad. So rest in peace, Bill. Thinking about you and all my extended family who might be watching this. I'm thinking about you guys. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make the funeral today. I'm really. I wish I was able to. We just got so many things. We've got a doctor's appointment and all this stuff. Let's see. What does Morse's future look like with no SEC win? So that's a question for. That's a question. That's a question I'll address in a video later on, I'm sure. But I don't know what you mean by no SEC. Are you saying like based on what he did last year? Wyatt, you're going to have to elaborate on that because what do you mean? What does his future look like? Are you saying that what does the future look like from here on out after what happened last year? So this year, what does Morse's future look like with no SEC win after this year? That's a loaded question. Well, then that would mean if he goes, I guess it just depends on what he does with his non-conference schedule and how competitive is he in those conference games. If he loses, let's say the Razorbacks fight in every single one of those SEC games. They get blown out by nobody. I mean, obviously Auburn, Alabama, you probably expect to get blown out. But if you're competitive against LSU, Auburn, Texas A&M, because I think they're going to be really good this year. If you're competitive and you lose those games late in the fourth quarter or just in the fourth quarter in general, and you go 4-0 in your non-conference, that's a step in the right direction. It's not as big of a step as we'd like. We want him to get an SEC victory, and I think a lot of fans obviously want him to get to a bowl game. That's a tough one. That's a tough question. It's a loaded question because there's so many variables. Like what does he get blown out? Does he even go undefeated in his non-conference schedule? If that's the case, what if he goes 2-10 again? What then? I have a script literally halfway written out for that scenario. I do. I've been working on it. If he doesn't improve, what happens next? Is this the Jack Crow era of our generation? I'm 30. I'll be 36 on Monday. How old was I when Jack Crow got fired? Like 7, 8. That was my oldest daughter's age. So I wonder if like history's repeating itself. Could Chad Morse be the Jack Crow of our generation for Razorback football? And I don't know. I based on his recruiting and how active and how hard of a worker he is as far as trying to, look at the quarterback situation alone. Before he even knew Connor Nolan, I think they all had an idea, but before they knew 100% that Connor Nolan was going to step aside and just go straight baseball, he still was taking in quarterbacks. He took in Ben Hicks, a guy that he knows, he's worked with, has experience with, and still goes after Nick Starkel to transfer to the University of Arkansas. That's a hustle, man. I don't like. There was an article by Saturday Down South. I don't remember how long ago. I think it's been a couple of months ago, but what they said is absolutely true in that article where they said that if he doesn't work out here, it's not for a lack of trying. I wholeheartily agree. 2-10, and he has a top 25 unanimous class among Rivals, 24/7, and ESPN. That's incredible. That is there. Think about this. There are programs that have had a winning history in the what have you done for me lately category. Teams that are top 3 year in and year out in Power 5 conferences who come off 8, 9, or 10 win seasons and didn't have a top 25 recruiting class, didn't have their class that Arkansas had coming off a 2-10 season after being considered a laughingstock in this conference. What? Like that's pretty impressive. I don't think anybody can deny that. Let's get caught up in chat really quick, and then we'll start off with the recruiting updates. And we're going to talk about a particular defensive tackle that I keep getting asked about. He's still better than Bielema, says Blake. I really believe we can get 5, maybe 6 wins this year. I don't think that's completely out of the question. And that's the video that I know I'm being asked about a lot too, is what my predictions are. I really think the path is laid out for, I think the path is there to win 7 games. Not saying they do that. I said that on the Hog Talk podcast. By the way, Jacob Scott Davis, I don't know if he's in here or not, recently got accepted or took a job with Rivals with Nikki Chavanel over on Rivals.com for hogbeat.com. The guy I do the podcast with is now a writer for Rivals.com. So you guys need to tune into we're still working out the kinks. He's new to podcasting. I'm new to this format of podcasting. But there's a link down below if you guys want to check it out. It's the Hog Talk podcast. We're on Twitter. Over 4,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know what we don't have a YouTube yet. We've kind of talked about doing something, and then our Facebook page. Feel free to go check that out as well. But yeah, Jacob Scott Davis is moving up in this world. He also is the creator of the hogpen.net. Let's see. Loaded question in all caps. Yeah. How pivotal do you think the Ole Miss game will be based on the timing? I like this question. In the season, in the games leading into A&M, very important. To me, the coin, all the SEC games Ole Miss, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Mizzou, to me are just they're pivotal coin flip caliber games. They're games that are going to be very telling. And I think Ole Miss is probably one of the most important because you feel like if you lose that one, even though it's a coin flip. Look, I felt like they should have beaten Ole Miss last year. It's a coin flip game because I don't think that coach is. I think it was a panic hire. I don't think he works out long term. I think he's kind of their wait and see coach. He's not their coach for the future. I just feel like Arkansas maybe even should be favored going into that game, or maybe not favored, but at least viewed as someone who's going to give Ole Miss trouble at the very least. At the very least, I think everyone's, they're going to be the talking heads around, the ESPN and Fox and SEC Network. That should be a game that everyone looks at Arkansas and says, okay, they have a shot at winning here. Obviously, it's going to be based on what they do beforehand, but I feel like they ought to be going into that game looked at favorably, not necessarily to win it, but at least to be competitive. That's a game that could set a lot of things into motion. You start off pretty hot. If you feel like if you beat Ole Miss, then you feel like those first handful of games, you're in pretty good shape, right? So then if you could beat Ole Miss on the road, does that mean you can beat Kentucky on the road? Does that mean you can beat Mizzou? Does that mean, where's Mississippi State? In my opinion on Mississippi State is they had their version of a Bobby Petrino, and he's gone. And I don't think – what I mean is we know how that all panned out with Mississippi State and Dan Mullins. That was what a hire by them. I mean, what a job he did. They're not that caliber of a program anymore. They still have talent, though. Mississippi State's a coin flip to me, although I'd probably lean towards Arkansas losing that one and maybe even the Mizzou game. So it's a good question. That's a tough one because, anything could happen. You either have Arkansas, you feel like could be on the verge of maybe this is that Brett Bielema version of year 2. You remember what he did from year 1 to year 2? Maybe Chad Morris can do that. Maybe that's what they're on the verge of doing. I agree with Blake. I'm hoping for 5 wins, says Todd. I like the scenario. Simulator. I don't know what that. Offense will shock people this year, says Azazian. Who was it? Was it Clay Henry today said on radio said that Ben Hicks, no question, if he wins in a convincing fashion early on, that no one's going to unseat him as a starting quarterback. I've been saying, don't count Ben Hicks out, man. I mean, when you consider his experience under Chad Morris and what he did at SMU with, outside of a really talented couple of receivers, obviously one of them was a high draft pick, but Ben Hicks did some things. And you got to remember the talent that he played against was also the talent that he played with. They weren't loaded. They didn't have tight ends when Chad Morris took that job. I guess, his system highly relies on some pretty decent depth at the tight end position. I mean, he had to rebuild that offense from the inside out. So don't count Ben Hicks out. And I do think there's a possibility of what's up, big man Ross? How you doing, man? I do think there's a possibility that Hicks keeps the job. I'm not saying that's what happens. I think Starkel's talent level is higher. He's got 2 years to play. He's got 2 years of eligibility left, so anything could happen. To be honest, Colorado State and San Jose State game both had me a little scared. Yeah, Todd. So I was just breaking down San Jose State yesterday because I'm starting to do work on my non-conference video. They're in really bad shape. They've only won 3 games in the last 2 years. Their entire secondary is depleted. Their overall, San Jose State shouldn't worry anybody. Colorado State, just because of what happened last year, I get it. Because of what happened last year, honestly, I'm sure all fans or most fans are going to be nervous every week in and week out, no matter who, even the week 1 opponent. I'm sure people are going to be like, anything could happen. I think they're going to be better offensively, and I don't think Colorado State worries me at all. San Jose State doesn't worry me at all. Western Kentucky is interesting. Their head coach is under the Braum umbrella, who's at Purdue, who's an extended member of the Petrino era of football, of offensive. I think he was a coordinator under Bobby Petrino when he went back to Louisville, if I remember right. So that's where their head coach is from. He's from that umbrella of coaching. And so you got a new coach. They're going to have a new quarterback. They're one of those teams. It's like, well, could they go 4-8 or could they be 8-4? Like who are they really? And I still think no matter what, they should win that game. I'm not concerned. I know that feels like last year's talk, right? Oh, they should go 4-0 in their non-con schedule. We saw what happened, but I feel like they should, even knowing what happened last year, and with now that we have a really good idea of what's going on with the talent, with the depth, and what they have going for them, and then all the question marks that we know of now that we really know the situation with Chad Morris and what's going on, and I feel pretty confident they should go 4-0 in non-conference. Let's see. Ole Miss is going to potentially have more issues on the O-line than we are. Yeah, Ole Miss is going to have some problems. I'm not bought into that coach at all. I really think he's just their knee-jerk reaction hire. I really think that's what he was. Let's see. David says Hicks will show out in Mississippi. Okay. Since I'm in Ohio, says Tyler Edmondson, going to try and go to the Kentucky game the day before my birthday. Well, that'd be pretty cool. We actually have more depth on the O-line, better running back depth than I dare say quarterbacks. I guess you're comparing to Ole Miss. Azazian says air game will be serious threat this year, opening up the Rakeem dream. Blake TV says Colorado State scares me too. They like Toledo. Never can count them out. We have to beat them this year. Yeah, Colorado State's just them and Western Kentucky to me are big question marks in the same way that Tulsa was and North Texas was for me last year. And I said in a video, Mason Fine, their quarterback, is one of the most least talked about quarterbacks and should get way more credit. And they worried me. And then ultimately we saw what happened. Now I definitely didn't think that was going to happen. North Texas thumping Arkansas at home. That was let's see. Patrick Champion says, I think we will go 6-6, 4-0 non-conference, beat Ole Miss and Kentucky. That's not, look, like I said, I think the path is there. That's a path you could absolutely take if there's a transformation on offense. Tyler Edmondson says, same, Patrick. That's a good one. That I wish I could favor that. I don't think I can, but I like that. Can I favor that? What can I do here? What are my options? Report, remove, put user in timeout. No. We don't want to do that. Okay. Let's see. Azazian says Hicks and Starkle alone will make our opponents look twice before assuming. I agree with that. I do. The quarterback upgrade is, I think people forget. And also, Ty Story transferred to Western Kentucky. There's an opportunity there where they could end up playing him. I think he's immediately eligible. I'm pretty sure. So that's going to be interesting. Awkward. But yeah, I think the significance of the quarterback upgrade is being drastically understated by a lot of these preseason magazines and even some of the local radio people. I think we're completely overlooking the fact that Ty Story, Cole Kelly did not fit this offense. Connor Nolan was a true freshman, didn't understand but 40 or 30% of the playbook. I mean, this is why I think Ben Hicks has a huge advantage because of his knowledge of the playbook and the vernacular and, just the understanding of what his role is in that offense. Getting a phone call. I've got it on hold. So I got to wrap this up. So we got to talk recruiting really quick. Let me get done reading your comments. Big Man Ross says, I say 8-4 with this year. We beat Kentucky, Missouri, and Ole Miss. Okay, so that would be 7 wins if you count the 4. Oh, so maybe you're saying the bowl game. Maybe you think they win the bowl. Hey, look, I'm just saying, like, I do think the talent gap is still a real thing with Arkansas. They are still way behind. They are still way behind in talent compared to even just Mississippi State. I hate to say that, but what Dan Mullins did and what he built over there, and even Ole Miss, I think, has the advantage. We know why Ole Miss has the advantage. Let's be real, how they acquired those recruits. Can't wait till Mississippi meets Traylon. Let's see. Gregory Qualls, some college sport group uses a computer to simulate team and schedule on YouTube. Doesn't mean anything but entertaining. Are you talking about the NCAA football? Because I saw that video. What's the guy's name? He's a big sports YouTuber. He's a great YouTube channel. I recommend everyone to watch him. But he does NFL, college, and he simulates games using updated rosters on NCAA 14. I thought about doing something like that here for the Razorbacks, but you have to use this recording device called an Elgato, and mine is not working properly. So I can't record the PlayStation 3 because that's the only way you can record or capture the gameplay is using that device. And mine doesn't work. You're starting wideouts. I'll address that eventually. Right now, it's hard not to look at all the freshmen and just say all of them. It's really hard to look at all the freshmen and just say all of them. Or it's not hard to say, I should say. Jordan Jones will be in the mix. Stewart will be in the mix. Don't ask me about Coley and Jackson. I have no idea what's going on with that guy. I've always had high expectations for him, but what is he, a redshirt sophomore, or is he a redshirt junior? High expectations for him, and he's just never panned out. I don't know what's going on with Coleon, but the rest, outside of maybe, I don't know. I think you're going to see all receivers involved this year, but obviously all the freshmen. I'm going to say all the freshmen. I don't think any of the freshmen redshirt. So, and even the running back, Amonte Spivey, all their skill position guys they brought in, I don't think any of them redshirt. I really don't. Let's see. Linebackers will be the biggest issue. Great pass rush means running quarterbacks and tired linebackers. Are you worried about the defense? Yes. Yep. I am. Linebacker depth is troubling. Up front, they're going to be better. How much better? I'm not really sure. You've got a lot of seniors there. I mean, they're too deep as junior and seniors. It's guys who played and rotated last year. Their talent. You've got seniors, but there's a talent issue there. There's still a talent issue there. So these freshmen, the question is, can these freshmen overcome the freshman ceiling? As we've talked about before, can they burst through that freshman ceiling? Because I think someone on the offense who I think is capable of doing that is Trey Knox. On the defense, we're not sure yet. Matial Soli, Eric Gregory. I'm trying to go through all the names. Just about the majority or 75% of the defensive lineman class, they're going to rotate. They're going to play. I think some of them still end up getting redshirted, but there's a lot of questions about just the talent that they have. Sosa Agim has not lived up to all the hype and excitement around his commitment, but he's still a solid. I guess they're going to move him inside and they're going to play him interior. I feel comfortable with him and obviously with Scuda, but outside of that, like, what do you have in the secondary? Curl. I think Curl is going to develop into something special eventually. I like Curl a lot. We actually had his dad on the Hog Talk podcast. That's an interesting podcast. You need to go catch that. He gives some really cool insider stuff that I don't know I've never heard. I've never looked at the perspective of the recruiting process from the parents' eyes, and that was an awesome interview. But his son, I think Curl is going to be. I think he's going to be special. I really do. I don't know. Maybe it's this year, but he's a junior, and you're talking about a guy who switched positions around from corner to safety. But yeah, defensively, I'm worried. To put it short, very worried. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be better. I just don't know how much better. But the depth and the skill at linebacker, the talent at linebackers. It's not good. Someone asked earlier, how many linebackers are they targeting? if I keep reading chat, that's all this video is going to be. So I'm going to move on to because I got to cut this thing short, probably at about 30 minutes. I think right now, from what I understand, they're targeting 3 linebackers. I don't think that's changed. I like their odds with at least 1 linebacker. Let me know if that I'm trying to pull up my list. Martavius French, 6'2", 240 is going to announce. I think he's announcing right before the Arkansas barbecue. I like their odds at landing him. Now his teammate got to go. Hey Ross, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. His teammate Bryson Eason, I'm not so sure. For a while there, it was supposed to be a 2-for-1 package. I think they have a third teammate who's also, like, the rumor was it was a 3-for-1 deal. Well, I mean, obviously they all count towards independent scholarships, but if you could land one, the odds were you're going to land at least Bryson Eason also, or Martavius French, the teammates. I don't think that's the case anymore, but I'm not gonna say that Arkansas is out of the picture for Eason just yet. French, they have a shot. Martavius French, they have a shot. I don't know about the other two, where else they're going to go at linebacker outside of Cottrell Wallace, and then maybe Aaron Moore are the other 2 linebackers I think they have a shot at. Obviously, we know Cottrell Wallace is, he's an in-state prospect out of Bryant, 3-star. He's rated as the number 42 outside linebacker. And then Aaron Moore out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 6'3", 220, good-sized kid. He's not ranked nationally, but he's considered a top 100 position or player at his position. I think they have a good shot at landing Cottrell Wallace and probably Aaron Moore and Martavius French. That's where I'm at with the linebackers. If you could get Easton, I really don't know why they're only taking 3. No idea. My dad and I have talked about this. Jacob and I have talked about this. Every guest we've had on talk about, including Otis Kirk, Kyle from Tex Hogs. We've all talked about what is going on at linebacker. Why are they only taking 3 linebackers? And that apparently is their target. I feel like it ought to be 5, 2 mics, 2 insides, and then 3 outsides. Rumor is they're going to move some guys around at safety down to linebacker. Otis Kirk talks about that in our interview with him. Again, that's on the Hog Talk podcast. The link down below in the description box. But he said, I think there's a couple of possible moves at the outside linebacker position. So there's a lot of questions at that position. I don't know why they're only taking 3. I don't know. I could go on and on. Vernon Broughton. That is still the most. I get emails on him. I get comments just on social media, and people who follow me there come to my DMs and they're like, Vernon Broughton, is he coming? Yes or no? I've not. I think last we talked, I said that he wasn't going to commit to Arkansas. I'm pretty firm that he's not coming to Arkansas. That stinks. It's too bad. Unfortunately, I don't know that they land any big time interior defensive linemen in this class. They've got 2 defensive linemen committed, but I don't, they're in on Amari Thomas. They're in on Amari Thomas, and supposedly they were in on Bernard Wright. I don't know what the latest is on him. I don't, and he's out of the infamous Carter High School, out of Dallas, Texas. I don't know that they land. I mean, they're in on some pretty good talent inside, but I don't know if they get any of them. I don't know what's going to go on with the interior spot. From here on out, it's just it is truly a coin flip as to what they're going to do with the interior. They're going to take somebody, but right now they're going after the cream of the crop, right? They're A guys, the A+ guys that they want to bring in. I don't know that they get any of them. And this is that question that we asked coming out of the 2019 class. Can they continue to build great talent along the defensive line after doing it one year? Can you do it the next year? I don't know that that's going to happen. Like, there is an announcement date on Vernon Broughton, or at least there's a timeline. I think it's really soon. I think it's either sometime this month or possibly in August. I think Vernon Broughton is supposed to announce. Jabari Small, 3-star all-purpose back, also announced that he's going to. Well, he said today on social media, or maybe it was yesterday, that he's going to announce in the week of August 15th. So look out for him. So the other question is then what else? Like, who's the next big time talent they could end up getting committed? And I think it could be Garrett Hayes, 4-star offensive tackle out of Texas. I've been saying that for a while. We'll see if he commits. I don't know. I like him. I think he's going to end up being a Razorback. I just don't know when he's going to actually announce. I don't know if he's going to wait for this whole process. I don't know if he's going to wait the season out. I don't think we have an announcement date on him. So, yeah, let me go back and read your comments, and then we're going to try and end this thing. Yeah, SG1 Sports. You're right, Blake. SG1 Sports is who made that video. It's really good. Blood Diamond. What's up, Blood Diamond? How you doing? What do you think are chances of beating A&M in Jerry's World? Not very good. Look, they played them really good last year, and I don't know if that was because A&M overlooked Arkansas or they're still trying to figure things out with Jimbo. A&M's going to be good. They already have talent stockpiled. Ever since that team has joined the SEC, their recruiting has gone absolutely through the roof. They didn't recruit like this when they're in the Big 12. They come to the SEC because they're the only guys in town where you could stay home and play in the best conference of college football. And they're absolutely killing it. They're reaping the rewards from that. It's odd how they've not really been competitive, though, in the SEC West, all things considered. I'm really surprised they're not doing better in all sports since joining the SEC. That's really strange because they recruit well. We know they're a household name across the Southeast and obviously in the state of Texas. Yeah, I don't like their odds right now to beat A&M. I think it could be another competitive game. Could be one of those games that go down to the fourth quarter, maybe. But I don't know. I could see realistically Arkansas only winning 16 only at most this year, with next year being even better. Yeah. Let's see. You think we get Vernon Broughton? No, already answered that. They did one and said 8-4. Yeah. So last year, I think it was SG1 did it last year too. Someone, because there's a couple of guys that do it. And they had Arkansas, I think, at like 9-3 or something. Now, obviously that added to the hype. Big Man Ross, yeah, watch that. No, Arkansas. Let's see, Devin Gary. What happened? Did Arkansas recruit some new players? Well, they did get a transfer from a punter, but we're just doing a recruiting update. I can't blow this up. I broke my glasses. I'm a big loyal fan of this channel. When I'm on vacation for a few months in London, still watching this live. Truck, you're the man. Thank you so much. Let's see. Matt says, where are we with Treylon Burks? Is he going to be ready? Oh, health-wise. Yeah, I don't know. I meant to ask Otis that, and we're having troubles. It's so hard to get people. We did an interview. We also did an interview. I'm going to keep plugging that podcast. You guys need to go check it out. But we had Chandler Morris on, and we did an interview with Chandler Morris. And we had he couldn't hear me and I couldn't hear him because we were doing over the phone. And then we had Otis Kirk on, and he was on Skype, and we got this feedback every time one of us would talk. You could hear it in the interview a little bit. It comes back through. And I meant to ask him about Treylon Burks. I don't know. I think he's going to play. I have not seen anybody say that he's not, but I've also not seen anywhere where anybody has said that he is. What's up, Dwight? How you doing, buddy? Hope all's well. Let's see. Let's get caught back up. Will Mansfield Trio be an impact for the Hogs? We shall see. In your honest opinion, do you believe we get to a bowl? David, that video is coming. I promise it's coming. Because what I like to do in the time when I'm not, compiling information for videos and being a full-time dad and doing what I do from day to day, what I do on the side is try to look at every single team that Arkansas faces and try and get as much detailed information as I can. And I'm like halfway through the schedule. I'll tell you right now, like I said earlier at the beginning of this, and I got to go. This will probably be the last thing I say. At the beginning of this, I said there's a path, because I think there is. There's a path to 6 or 7 wins. There's a lot of things that have to happen for them to take that path and to be successful on that path. One of them being, how much better is the offensive line? I do think the quarterback situation is better. How much do these new skill position guys contribute? Can they break through? Can at least one or two of them break through the freshman ceiling that happens every year to every new, even JUCO guys got to break through that ceiling, because now you're playing in not just Power 5 football, you're playing in SEC football. Defensively, can they answer some questions? How much better is the secondary going to be? Can Scooter Harris stay healthy all year? Can Bumper Pool make a huge leap from his freshman year to his sophomore year? And I like Bumper Pool. You still got Zach Zymos, who came in with the last class. Can he break through the freshman ceiling? There's so many questions. How much better is their pass rush? Because last year was atrocious. Their defense entirely was terrible. I do think they take steps forward. The question is how big are these steps? If the offense goes through a huge transformation and Starkel or Hicks, that's going to be fun. Fall camp is going to be fun, trying to keep up with that quarterback battle. But if those two fit this offense like a glove, like we already know Hicks did at SMU with Chad Morris, the path is there, and they could win. They could win 6 or 7 games. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not saying they go out and win a bowl game. I'm not there yet. I'm still breaking it down. As of at this second, glancing at the schedule and knowing what we have, no, I don't think they're a bowl team. But again, let me go through and do a little in-depth analysis and really take these other teams apart and try to look and figure out what's going on and do some more what research is left to be done with the Razorbacks and try to figure this whole thing out. As of right now, no, I don't like them to go bowling. Just right now. Are the running backs healthy? They will be, I think so, yes. An early loss to Ole Miss better not break the team's belief in itself, but a win may boost their self-confidence. Todd Parker, thanks for all your hard work and research you put into the channel and podcast. You are appreciated, sir. Todd, I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming through. Guys, that's going to do it. I've got to go hit up lunch. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And yeah, don't forget to, like I said, check out the Hog Talk podcast. That link is down below in the description box. And we're going to try and pump out as much content as we can leading up to fall camp. And obviously the barbecue, it's a big deal. That's a big deal. And I think they do. That's the last thing I'll say. I do think they get a commitment possibly before and possibly after. Well, I mean, obviously after, but like immediately following, I think they end up getting at least a commitment or two. So that's it. I hope you guys, again, have a great weekend. Go Hogs, and we'll see you next week. You can hear my kids screaming in the background. She waited till I was done at least. You guys have a good weekend.